Okay, speaking of technology updates, we've got two parts to this technology update around morning tea, and as I said, a lot to fit in. Before we get into the technology itself, it's sometimes useful to take a step back and look at the more abstract questions around what is a GIS. Can I have a show of hands in this room for those of you who believe that you are, and know that you are, in your inner being, a GIS professional? Show of hands. Okay. It's 47% roughly. Okay, can I have a show of hands for those of you who use GIS, even if you don't consider it a core part of your work every day? Okay, hopefully those two parts of the Venn diagram come together to create most of the room. The information we have to share today is showing you the latest updates on the things that you do use in your day-to-day work. And one thing to bear in mind about a GIS is it's like any other digital system. It's a digital version of the real world. In the case of us, it's a digital version of things which are spatial, things which you can see and touch and have a location in the real world. And that's the same as you would have for a digital version of an asset system or a banking system. The nice thing about a GIS is we can model and capture digital versions of entities which are in the natural world or in the built environment, and a combination of the two. And we can model, we can analyze and visualize those entities. We do that through the concept of layers. Now, all of you know what layers are, but sometimes it's useful to go back and look at the 101 and just revisit what these mean. So for those of you who are new to GIS, this is the key construct of a GIS, taking the real world and breaking it down to the layer view, which can be combined together to give us a holistic view for the real world. And the layers you use are based upon the questions or entities you want to model. In terms of what you can do with those layers, there's a range of things we can do. Obviously, we can map and we can visualize the information in these layers. But we can go far beyond that, and that's what we want to talk to you about in the next section, is going beyond this mapping and visualization into analysis, using the power of computing to ask questions of these very rich and increasingly complex data sets. Using them for monitoring and reporting, bringing information in real time, and having triggers or alerts based upon what we're seeing from these data sources. Making this information available to decision makers, policy planners, and so on through the medium of maps. Maps, as we know, are a great means of engaging and telling stories, whether it's to decision makers in your organizations, but also to the public and through citizen engagement. And that can be a two-way exchange of information. Everyone loves maps, and we've got the technology to put those maps into the hands of people who need them. So that's the kind of more abstract view of GIS and what it is.